Hi, Jerry. Want to hear what he say?
Hello, Rocky. How do you feel?
Like a million. Hey. How's Soapy and the kids?
Pulling for you all the way. As long as there's the slightest hope from the governor.
It'd be a whole lot easier to handle me out of the way, won't they?
It's up to you, Rocky.
Huh?
We haven't got a lot of time. I want to ask you one last favor.
There's not much left that I can do, kid.
Yes, there is, Rocky. Perhaps more than you could do under any other circumstances. If you have the courage for it, and I know you have.
Me walking in there? That's not going to take much.
I know that, Rocky.
I sit in a barber chair. They're going to ask me, got anything to say? And I say, sure. Give me a haircut, a shave, and a massage. One of those nice new electric massages.
But you're not afraid, Rocky?
No, they'd like me to be, wouldn't they? But I'm afraid I can't oblige them, kid. You know, Jerry, I think in order to be afraid, you got to have a heart. I don't think I got one. I had that cut out of me a long time ago.
Suppose I asked you to have the heart.
Huh?
To be scared.
What do you mean?
Suppose at the last minute the guards dragged you out here screaming for mercy. Suppose you went to the chair yellow.
Yellow? Say, what's the matter with you, Jerry? You've been worrying about my courage.
I know that. This is a different kind of courage, Rocky. The kind that's, well, it's born in heaven. Well, not the courage of heroics or bravado. The kind that you and I and God know about.
Still don't know what you mean.
Look, Rocky. Just before I came up here, the boys saw me off on the train, Soapy and several of the others. Well, you can well imagine what they told me. Your father would tell Rocky to show the world what he's made of, and tell him not to be afraid, and to go out laughing. And
What do you want? I'm not going to let them down. That's worrying you.
that's what I want you to do. I want you to let them down. You see, you've been a hero to these kids and hundreds of others all through your life. And now you're going to be a glorified hero in death, and I want to prevent that, Rocky. They've got to despise your memory. They've got to be ashamed of you.
You asked me to pull an act, turn yellow, so those kids will think I'm no good. You asked me to throw away the only thing I got left, the only thing you haven't been able to take away from me. You want me to give those newspaper sophisters a chance to say another act turn yellow.
But, Rocky, you and I all know that you're not.
You're asking a nice little favor, Jerry. Ask me to crawl on my belly, last thing I do in life.
I know what I'm asking. And the reason I'm asking is because being kids together sort of gave me the idea that you might like to join hands with me and save some of those other boys from ending up here.
Nothing, Don. You're asking too much. You want to help those kids? You got to figure out some other way.
Well, it's impossible to do it without your help, Rocky. I can't reach all of those boys. Thousands of hero-worshipping kids all over the country.
Oh, don't give me that humanity stuff again, will you? I had enough of that in the courtroom. Told everything I knew. Name names. Get the low down the whole dirty mess. Now, what more do you want?
What I've always wanted, Rocky. Straighten yourself out with God. Outside of that, I can't ask for anything else.
Well, don't.
It's time, Rocky. Are you ready?
Yeah. You figure on going in with me?
I'd like to, Rocky. That is it.
You can if you wish. Do you mind, Father?
Certainly.
That's better. You kind of lost him going down that last mile. Oh, promise me something. Promise me you won't let me hear you pray.
I promise you won't hear me.
You know, wait till me screw. What's your face?
It'll be the last face you see, big shot, and it'll be the laughing at you.
Don't get near me now. I'll spit in your eye again.
Edward, stand back. Carlson, take care of it.
There you go. I don't need anybody. Come on.
Atta boy, Rocky. Make your own company.
So long, Rocky.
We won't be long.
So long, Rocky.
Please.
2:08 p.m. Bill and I left Georgia Street Juvenile and headed for 1200 Loma Linda Avenue. It was 8 blocks from the office. It took us 4.5 minutes to reach the vacant lot where the strange-behaving juvenile was reported to have been seen.
Stand still.
Reality, man, reality. I could see the center of the earth. Purple flame down there, the pilot light. All the way down. Purple flame down there, the pilot light. Pilot light of
He's clean,
all
Joe.
creation,
Except for
reality.
these.
Reality.
What's your name, son?
You can see my name if you look hard enough.
Come on now, what's your name?
Don't you know my name? My name's Blue Boy.
What do you think, Joe? Cartwheels?
Oh, sugar cubes. I'll make you book he's been dropping that acid we've been hearing about. All right, son. You're under arrest. It's our duty to advise you of your constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent, and any statement you make may be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed before any questioning. Do you understand that?
There I am. I'm over there now. I'm not here anymore. My hair's green and I'm a tree.
You ever see anybody this torn up?
Well, it's a cinch he's not strung out on sugar cubes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take him to Central Receiving.
Come on, son.
Even if your body does die, your mind will live on.
Yeah, we know. Come on.
You're the dirty disbelievers. The evil disbelievers. Evil! Evil! Evil!
Come on, son. Settle down.
Brown, blue, yellow, green, orange, red. Red. I can hear them. I can hear them all.
Yeah, sure you can, kid. Let's go back to the office. We'll all listen. Bill and I took the sugar cubes found on the subject to the Scientific Investigation Division located in the police building in downtown Los Angeles. We talked to forensic chemist Ray Murray. We filled him in on the subject's appearance and his behavior pattern.
Tell us about the stuff, Ray.
Visual distortions, strangely disoriented. It's a relatively new drug developed in Switzerland virtually by accident. Swiss biochemist by the name of Hoffman came up with the first synthesis of the drug in 1938.
Yeah.
Lysergic acid diethylamide tartrate, LSD-25.
What's it look like, Ray?
LSD is odorless, colorless, tasteless. Comes in two forms, liquid and powder. I'll run these sugar cubes through, but I can tell you right now they contain LSD.
4 p.m. Bill and I left the crime lab and headed back toward Georgia Street Juvenile. Before we left him, Ray Murray filled us in on more facts and figures. A kilo of LSD, 2 2/10 pounds, can be divided into 5 to 10 million doses. Murray also gave us one last frightening fact. LSD is so potent that a single pound of the preparation could turn every person in Los Angeles County into a total psychotic. The population of the county, 7 million people. Wednesday, October 5th. 6 months went by. LSD users were increasing at an alarming rate, particularly among juveniles. By now, the users had established their own language. The drug itself was now called the ticket, the ghost, the beast, the chief, the hawk, or simply 25. Users now referred to themselves as acid heads or acid freaks. A trip still referred to having taken the drug, but now more often the words a bum trip and freak out were being heard, meaning a bad LSD experience. Friday, December 9th, 8:30 p.m. We figured the Sunset Strip might be a good place to dig up a lead. Since the warrant on Benji Carver was registered and in the hands of all units, we hoped it wouldn't be too long before the suspect was picked up. The parade of teenagers begins at Laurel Canyon and Sunset and ends at Doheny. On Friday and Saturday nights, for most of the young people in the city, the Strip had become the in place to go. It had also become the scene of teenage riots. Sandy, Edna May, what's happening?
Nothing much.
Been behaving yourselves?
Haven't touched any more of that acid, that's for sure. We were even invited to an acid party tonight. We told him no. We're on our way home.
You told who no?
Blue Boy, he asked us.
You have the address?
Yeah, someplace. It's supposed to be up in the hills somewhere. You gonna break up the party?
About time somebody tried, don't you think? (10:18 p.m.) Bill and I drove up to the address given us by the two girls. It was in the Hollywood Hills. It was an old house that had seen better days.
Fairly equal terms of warmth, eh, Betty?
A fine specimen, isn't he, Toddy McFarlane? Come, Toddy, sit down here with me.
Don't call me that confounded name.
Well, then, Dr. McFarlane. Though I've known the time, Toddy, when you liked the name. Aye, and many are dead now who called you by it. Rough and wild ones they were, too. But sit down, Toddy, with your friend.
Mr. Fettes and I have professional matters to discuss.
Medicine? That'll keep. Sit down. You wouldn't want it said of you that you refused a glass to an old friend.
We'll buy you a glass, Gray.
I'm a pretty bad fellow myself, but McFarlane's the boy. Oh, Toddy McFarlane. What did you order for your friend, Toddy? No, on second thoughts, I'll do the ordering. We'll have a bowl of hot punch and a cup from the loin of that young pauper. Oh, don't worry, waiter. I'm with my friend, the great Dr. McFarlane. He wants to sit here with the commonality. You were going to speak of medical matters. Well, don't let my humble presence stop you. Talk on, Toddy.
I will not have you call me by that name.
You will not have it.
Dr. McFarlane, you remember the lady who came to see you yesterday, the lady with the little girl?
I remember.
She came again today and wanted me to ask you if you wouldn't break your rule and operate. She feels that you are her only hope.
So she told me. I'm a teacher, not a practitioner.
A teacher, eh? Maybe you're afraid to be a doctor.
Afraid of what?
Afraid you're not as good a doctor as you make out to be.
I'm the best man for the job.
Why don't you do it, then? I'd like for you to do the operation, Toddy.
You? Since when have you become the protector of little children?
It's not the child I'm concerned with, Toddy. It's you I'm thinking of. I'd like to have you prove that a lot of things I know haven't hurt Toddy McFarlane in it.
I'll not do it, Gray.
Oh, yes, you will. You'll do it to oblige Mr. Fettes and myself.
No.
Maybe there's some private reasons between you and me that'll make you. Some long-lost friends, eh, Toddy? Say you'll do it for me and my friend Mr. Fettes here.
It might be an interesting case.
That's a good boy, Toddy.
You only want me to do it because I don't want to. That's it, isn't it, Gray?
Toddy hates me.
Don't call me by that name.
Hear it. Do you ever see the lads play knife?
How much have you, Timmy? 7 shillings is 84 pennies, 168 halfpennies, and 336 farthings. But there's no folk around the old churchyard than 5 shillings and 7 shillings. Yes, Ellie, but they're over poor. But, Tammy, we have to get it. Mr. Train's gone to give him up. He was wearing honest good clothes and a long face to go to Bobby's burial. Not if we can get the money first. Tell everybody, Ellie. Everybody you can find. And I will, too. Every Ben and Griffiths, Ellie. And run. Have you any money to save the wee dog's life?
I'm looking for the man Trail, the case with the dog. Have you seen him? You can't go in there until the court is in session at 9 o'clock. I don't remember the... That's my order, sir, from the Lord Provost himself. Oh? Well, the Lord Provost isn't listed to be here today. I think I'd better wait.
There's many would say this is no much of a case for the Lord Provost to bother his head about, your worship.
I must be the judge of that, Mr. Trail. Sergeant McLean has the prisoner in custody, I see. Now, Mr. Trail, the points at issue are very simple. Do you give food and shelter to this dog? And do you own? Let's take the first point first.
Aye, your lordship. I've always fed the wee dog ever since. Well, I've always fed him, and I'm no denying it.
Why did you? If he is not your own.
Well, at first, to ease my conscience, because I blame myself in part for the death of the wee dog's master.
You said it first. What then?
Oh, I've courted the wee terrier for a long, long time since then because of nobody of my own. But he'll hear none of me, except he's friendly and polite. He just grieves for the old man that's dead.
The law says the dog must have an owner.
And I can't claim to be that, your lordship, because it's no true. But I cannot believe the Lord would make a man abandon his principles and lie, or take the life of a wee dog for a matter of a few shillings and a piece of paper.
The law deals with facts, not with emotions, Mr. Trail. The dog is ownerless.
Is there a case about a wee dog in there?
You can't go in there.
You see, Jeannie, I told you that.
First, man, my husband and I are important witnesses in the case. Is it in there?
We are the dog's owners, sir.
Begging your pardon, your lordship, but that's right. That's right.
James Brown, you're telling a lie. He's the caretaker of the kirkyard, your lordship, that's so sick at home in bed.
Constable, let these 2 witnesses in. And no one else. You stay outside. Your name?
James Brown, your lordship.
You claim ownership of the dog?
Aye, we do.
And we've come to pay the license for him.
My wife has the money here in her purse. We just heard about the dog being taken up, and I thought that...
Yes, Mr. Brown, you're claiming ownership. In that case...
It's no the case at all, your lordship. James Brown is not the owner of the dog.
If I pay for him, I am.
You've no legal right to Bobby any more than I.
Mr. Brown, Does the dog sleep under your roof?
Well, no, your lordship, no at night. No, I cannot say that. He sleeps in the kirkyard.
With the minister's permission, of course.
Well, no, your lordship, I cannot say that.
Oh, this is but a wee dog that holds its cub, and it's very respectful.
Aye, and he's only been there such a short time, your lordship.
For some months, Mr. Bell. The minister told me that himself.
The minister knows? He told your lordship?
He was told by the Bible reader at the funeral. Then by the minister at Colbray, where the dog once lived. And might live now, if you had not fed him every day to keep him here.
Well, the folks at Colbray didn't license him, your lordship. Well, there'd be no charge for the lack of it.
I'm paying for Bobby's license myself, John Trail.
You'll do no such thing, James Brown. In all my life, I've never surrendered a principle before your lordship. But the charge is on me, and I'll pay it.
I feel I must point out to you both that the dog sleeps under neither of your roofs. So belongs no more to one than to the other.
I was summoned to license him and be his owner. And I will.
But I ask first. Perhaps both of you are thinking more of winning an argument than winning the dog. A dog needs a home. But it needs love, too. That more than anything.
Your lordship, do you think he doesn't get that? Because he most certainly does. Not only from me and my wife, but from every child in Greyfriars. They feel he's one of them.
Your lordship, do not send him away from the kirkyard. For many of the bairns in Greyfriars, Bobby is the only love.
What are you bairns doing in here? Come on, out of it. Go on, bloody out.
Mister, we're looking for Greyfriars Bobby. Aye, and Mr. Trail that brought him here.
Are you going out or no? Young savages in the borough court. Have you taken maybe your senses?
Your lordship!
Silence. Close the door.
Look, he's not dead.
Ah!
Will it be all right now, Mr. Trail? I've got the money for a license in my bonnet, Mr. Trail. Is it you I pay, mister? It's 7 shillings if you wish to count.
But where did you bairns get all this money from? And how?
Everybody round the kirkyard gave it. To pay the place not to what Bobby did. I gave for Father, Mr. Trail. I knew every bairn we asked. I gave a penny. Everybody gave something. Yes, we did.
Whisht! Have you no respect for where you are? In the great borough court. Whisht!
Mr. Trail, hand the dog up here. Answer me this, any of you. Do you know what it means to be given the freedom of the city?
Tammy would know, sir. He's a Scholars Harriet School. Now. It's when the Queen comes, mister. And you give the keys to the bar gates that are not here anymore.
Right, laddie. The gates and walls are down. But we still give the keys to visitors who are grand, or wise, or just useful out of the ordinary.
Like the Duke of Wellington and Miss Florence Nightingale.
Yes, the brave and faithful. Now here's a wee dog that's been faithful out of the ordinary. For a dead man he loved, he's gone hungry and been cold. He has never forgotten him, or left his side by night.
And do the police now have to take him?
If he's made free of the city, he can wander where he likes.
What will Bobby do with keys?
Give her another as soon as look at her. She ain't forgiven me. Not much. It's this Christian game of yours that will have played up against me. I won't have it, I tell you. So take your money and stop throwing your silly bash face up against mine.
Major, may I take a little of it for the army? No. The army's not to be bought. Bill, we want your soul, and we'll take nothing less.
I know. Me and my few bob ain't good enough for you. You're an earl's granddaughter, you are. Nothing less than £100 would do for you.
Come, Barbara, you could do a great deal of good with £100. If you'll set this gentleman's mind at ease by taking his £1, I'll give you the other 99.
Oh, Papa, you're too extravagant. Bill offers 20 pieces of silver. All you need offers the other 10. That will make the standard price to buy anybody who's for sale. Well, I'm not, and the army's not.
Delighted to see you looking so well, my dear. Why didn't you write and say you was coming? We'd have got something hot for supper.
What's that? That's mine, Fagin.
No, my dear. Mine, Bill, mine. You shall have the books.
If that ain't mine and Nancy that is, I'll take the boy back again. Now come on, hand over, will you? Where is it?
This is hardly fair, Bill. Hardly fair, is it, Nancy?
Fair or not fair, give it here, you avaricious old skeleton. Give it. Take the books if you're fond of reading. If you ain't, sell 'em.
Help! Help!
Who's on?
Leave it there, Bill. You'll tear them right to pieces.
Very right.
No, you don't.
You stand off of me, or I'll put your head in.
I don't
What's the matter here?
The girl's gone mad.
No, she ain't. Take it. No, she ain't. Don't think it.
And keep quiet, will you?
No, I won't do that neither. What do you think of that?
So you wanted to get away, my dear. Did you, wanted to get assistance? Called for the police, did you? We'll soon cure you of that, my young master.
It's done, Fagin. You've got the boy. What more do you want? Let him be. Let him be, or I'll put that mark on some of you that'll send me to the gallows before my time.
Why, Nancy, you're more clever than ever tonight. Ha ha! You're acting beautiful, dear.
Am I? Then take care I don't overdo it. You'll be the worse for it, Fagin, if I do.
What do you mean by this? You're a nice one, a pretty subject for the boy to make a friend of.
So help me, I am. I wish I'd been struck dead in the street before lending a hand to bring him here. He's a thief, a liar, a devil, and all that's bad from this night on. Isn't that enough of the old wretch without blows?
Come, Sykes, we must have civil words, Bill.
Civil words, you villain. Yes, you deserve them from me. I thieved for you when I was a child not half his age, and I thieved for you ever since, don't you know it?
And if you have, it is your living.
Aye, it is. It is my living. On the cold, wet, dirty streets of my own. And you're the wretch that drove me to them long ago. And that'll keep me there.